Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So we have some more court documents, a sworn affidavit that gives some more details into what happened in those last moments before Alec Baldwin fatally shot Halyna Hutchins, the cinematographer, on the set of Rust. So we're going to look at an article that details more of what went down and something that co-star Jensen Ackles had to say when he spoke about the armorer Halyna Reid and how he handled his interaction with her on the set. Because as you might know, Jensen Ackles was on Supernatural, the show Supernatural, and he's had training before with weapons and guns, so he kind of knows what he's doing. Let's get into this article. So Yahoo News, Alec Baldwin was aiming at camera when the gun discharged in an affidavit. At Santa Fe, where it was, Alec Baldwin was drawing a revolver across his body and pointing it at a camera during rehearsal on the set of Rust, when the weapon fired and struck the cinematographer in the chest, according to an affidavit released on Sunday. The affidavit provided additional details about Thursday's accidental shooting in New Mexico that killed 42-year-old Halyna Hutchins and wounded director Joel Souza. Baldwin had been handed the prop gun, it's a gun, and told it was unloaded. Authorities in Santa Fe have said in court documents. David Halls, the assistant director, called cold gun when he gave it to him, so it wasn't supposed to be loaded. I think that's Joel Souza, the director, stated that they had Alex sitting in a pew in a church building setting, and he was practicing a cross draw. Joel said he was looking over the shoulder of Hutchins when he heard what sounded like a whip and then a loud pop, the affidavit read. Okay, so he's doing a cross draw. If he's right-handed, I think he is, the holster's on his left side, so he's going to go across his hip and then draw. So what we heard was it fired off the second time. So he's pulled it across the first time, nothing happened. As he pulled it the second time, it must have gone off. Now, was he doing it quickly? We don't know that yet. We don't know how fast he was doing it or if it was just a slow. We might find that out because as I showed you before, Hannah Reid was talking about quick draw and how good she was at it and teaching actors about it. Now, it's kind of sounding like what I said. He was practicing a draw and then it went off. But we just got to find out if it's actually going to be a quick draw or if it was how he did it. Hutchins was shot in the chest area, the document said. So Joel then vaguely remembers Hutchins complaining about her stomach and grabbing her midsection. Joel also said Hutchins began to stumble backwards and she was assisted to the ground. Hutchins said she could not feel her legs. Reed Russell, a cameraman who was standing next to her at the time of the shooting, told officials. A distraught Baldwin was photographed on Saturday outside a hotel in Santa Fe embracing and talking to Matt Hutchins, the husband of Halyna Hutchins and their 9-year-old son. The rest of it goes on about what's already been detailed. So it was about the camera crew was having issues with production involving payment and housing, which I've talked about, and how some union members walked off the set. Sergei Svetnoy, chief electrician for Rust, said in a Facebook post on Sunday he had held Hutchins in his arms while she was dying and blamed negligence and unprofessionalism for her death. There it is right there. The chief electrician held her in his arms while she was dying and blamed negligence and unprofessionalism. That's a quote. Celebrity website TMZ, citing unidentified sources connected to the production, said the gun handed to Baldwin had previously been used by crew members for target practice off-set using real bullets. I did see that article, so I didn't really talk about that because it wasn't verified from anywhere else. Only TMZ had the story, and Reuters said they couldn't verify the report and police in Santa Fe didn't respond to inquiries. So still not verified. TMZ has the exclusive, but I'm not going to say it's a given that that's the case yet. According to the LA Times, more than a week ago, Baldwin's stunt double accidentally fired 2 rounds from a prop firearm after being told it was cold. So this happened before. He was told it was cold and he fired 2 rounds and they went off. And this happened with Alec Baldwin. He was told it was a cold gun and he fired it off and it was live. Yeah, and then the rest of this is stuff I've already covered in previous videos if you want to go check them out. Yep, it was the assistant director Dave Halls who had given it to him. He's got a lot of experience in the business, and then it's about the visuals. Now, the Insider shared a clip from TikTok that a few places have actually been taking down, and it's Jensen Ackles at one of the Comic-Cons talking about his interaction with Halyna Reid, the armorer in this movie. So let's take a look at what he says, and it's very interesting.
And the armorer was like, "You have gun experience?" And I was like, "A little." And she's like, "Okay, well, this is how you load it. This is how we check it, make sure it's safe." I'm like, "Okay." And so she's like, "Okay, I'm going to put some blanks in there, and I want you to just go and fire off a couple rounds towards the hill." And I was like, "Okay." So I put the belt on, I put the gun there, and I walked out. And she's like, "Just make sure that you pull the hammer all the way back and you aim at your target." And I was like, "Okay, I got it." And then I go. And no kidding, she goes, "You're an asshole."
So Jensen Ackles was talking about how he was kind of playing with her there because he knew exactly what he was doing. But did you see how he did it? He was pointing as if he was doing a cross draw. So they were practicing cross draws, and then Alec Baldwin was practicing a cross draw when he shot and killed Halyna Hutchins. And are you telling me the 24-year-old in Hollywood doesn't know who Jensen Ackles is? I don't even know what to say anymore, man. All the stuff that's coming out about this is absolutely disgraceful. We're going to say that. And we're going to get more information as it comes. It's just a terrible story, honestly. Any side you look at it. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Be sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Share this one out, and I'll see you in the next one.